Hey everybody, and welcome back to another One of Everything Wednesdays. I am your host, MrBevers. Today we are finishing off Comics Plus, located in Macon, Georgia, or Mason, Georgia, or however you want to pronounce it. I don't know. Macon? Mason? Macon? I don't know. Listen, I don't tend to know how everyone pronounces names of things, since everybody can pronounce things quite differently. Let's get right into it. Comics Plus, if you didn't notice, we did open 10 packs from them last week. We're opening up another 10 this week, which is starting with Fate Reforged, then Cons of Tarkir, then Conspiracy, then 2014 core set, Dragon's Maze, Return to Ravnica, Avacyn Restored, Regular Innistrad, Betrayers of Kamigawa, and Apocalypse. So who's ready to see some neat old stuff? Because I'm ready. Alright, Fate Reforged. We're seeing, this is like, let's open up the Ugin now instead of in my quickie videos of Fate Reforged and add it to the patron pile, right? That makes the most sense. Or maybe we'll hit a fetch land in the land slot. That would be pretty sweet. I would be okay with that. Rite of Undoing. Pilgrim of the Fires. Mardu Shadowspear. And a Whisperwood Elemental. Well, we hit a Mythic, and this was a big player back when Fate Reforged was out in Standard. This guy was sweet. He's a 4/4 for 5 that says at the beginning of your end step, manifest the top card of your library. Sacrifice Whisperwood Elemental until end of turn. Face up non-token creatures you control. Gain when this creature dies, manifest the top card of your library. So, pretty cool. And we didn't quite get there with the fetch land, but hey, what can you do, right? Can't win them all. But we did get a Mythic, which is pretty sweet. We did get a Mythic. Cons of Tarkir is next, so maybe we get a foil fetch in this pack, right? That's how it works, I think. You didn't get it in the Fate Reforged pack. See, like, I mean, like, Tranquil Cove is just, like, in the common slot. Master of the Way. Suspension Field. Also, this was another good removal spell from the set when it was out. Heart Piercer Bow. And our rare, a Shasha Death Dealer. This card was pretty sweet and limited as well. 2/2 for 2, black and a green. But then you could pay a black and a green and it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You can do that as many times as you want. But also not just that, but you can play a black and a green and regenerate it. So it basically just is like this big dude that you can just keep regenerating over and over. A basic land. That's not a fetch land. Conspiracy. Original Conspiracy is next. What do we think we're going to find here? I don't think there's any... Ooh, that's a common worth something probably. I'll have to check that one out. If it's worth something, we'll add it to the patron pile for sure. The Sakura Tribe Elders are very good cards. It's a 1/1 for 2 that sacrifice it and search your library for a basic land card and put it in the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Split Decision. Volcanic Fallout. Vampire Hexmage. This is an uncommon that's actually, I don't know if it's worth a whole heck of a lot, but it's a sweet uncommon. It removes counters from target permanent. All counters. It can kill planeswalkers. It can remove counters off of, lands or things that are, building up counters for whatever, charge counters, right? Like, any number of things it can remove stuff. It's pretty sweet. Aether Vial. It can remove all the counters off Aether Vial. Reset it. Pretty neat. I don't know if it's worth anything, but I'll take a look at it afterwards. And our rare here is a Grenzo Dungeon Warden. Dragon Warden. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Dragon Warden? No, he's a Dungeon Warden. This is the... I think before he got a reprint, this guy was worth quite a bit. And then when he got a reprint, he kind of went down a bunch. And we did get an advantageous proclamation, which is not anything that we need to worry about at the moment. Core 2014 is next. Fog. Good old Fog. Ooh, Banisher Priest. This was a good card too. 2/2 for 3. Exile target creature and opponent controls until Banisher Priest leaves the battlefield. It's a common mechanic that gets used quite a bit. Generally, you end up with like a 1/3 or something along those lines, but this was a 2/2. Artificer's Hex. Windstorm. Good old Windstorm. And a Fiendslayer Paladin. This guy's pretty sweet too. So he's a 2/2 for with first strike for 1 and a white. But he also has lifelink, and he can't be the target of black or red spells your opponents control. Very good in 5-point star. If you don't know what 5-point star is, it's a format that you can play with 4 of your friends, where you all play monocolored decks, and the objective of your game is to eliminate your 2 opponents that are across from you in the magic pie. So, for instance, white's opponents would be black and red, blue's opponents would be green and red, black's opponents would be white and green, red's opponents would be blue and white, green's opponents would be blue and black. So there you go. It's a very interesting format because essentially you can help your partners out. So like your partners are the people who are beside you. So white's partners would be green and blue. So green and blue could help white deal with black and red, but at the same time green doesn't really want to help white with red because red is also green's essentially a companion, right? Or partner, I guess you could say. So it's a very interesting format because then you get to play sort of like a diplomatic game where it's like, well, help me because otherwise I'm dead, and if I die, then you know, the person that you're helping is closer to winning, and you know, maybe you don't want that yet, right? Because your other opponent isn't quite dead, right? Anyway, interesting nonetheless. It's a very fun format. We don't get to play it that often, but it's interesting. The problem is that a lot of people just don't have monocolored decks. That's in my play group anyway. So we've got an Armed and Dangerous, and then a Give and Take. And this is Dragon Maze, by the way. Putrefy, which is a very good removal spell. And we got an Emaria Tandris. So 5/7 for 7. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creature tokens you control. So it's meant for that creature token deck. And we got a Golgari Guildgate. Joyous Day. Ravnica, we could see Shocklands, right? We could have seen a Shockland in that Dragon Maze pack, too. Oh, we've got a foil, everybody. Foil Shock. We've got a foil Shockland. Minotaur Aggressor. Assassin's Strike. Rakdos Cackler. And a Conjured Currency. This was a fun one. So, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may exchange control of Conjured Currency and take target permanent you neither own nor control. So you can take something and give them this, and then they can't take back the thing that you took, but they could take something else. So this eventually just like sort of just like ends up all around the table, and people take different things and stuff. It's interesting. And token card and land and foil. A foil Bloodfray Giant. Not a foil shock, unfortunately, but hey. Avacyn Restored. Now, we just did a whole box of this in our quickie videos, and we didn't get the Cavern of Souls, so how fitting would it be to get the Cavern now, right? Let's see how this goes. Good old Pillar of Flame. Good removal spell. Demonic Taskmaster. Haunted Guardian. Tandem Lookout. And Stolen Goods. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a non-land card. Until end of turn, you may cast the card without paying its mana cost. No Cavern of Souls for my patrons, unfortunately. In fact, this has been a fairly lackluster week so far, but Innistrad could turn that around. What about if we get like a Snapcaster Mage or a Liliana of the Veil, right? That would be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? Oh man, foil Liliana? Foil Liliana or foil Snapcaster? How about that? Mask of Avacyn. Rolling Tremblor. Intangible Virtue. Oh, we did hit a Mythic though, and it's Essence of the Wild. 6/6/4/6, 3 and green, green, green. Creatures you control enter the battlefield as a copy of Essence of the Wild. So your little 2/2s and 1/1s for small amounts of mana end up coming in as 6/6s. Pretty interesting. Don't think it's the mythic we were looking for, but hey, it's still a mythic. Villagers of Estwald. Ooh, and our foil. Should we see? Is there even a foil? Did we just... Oh, it's because there's a flip card. So we didn't get a foil. That's unfortunate. I keep forgetting that the Innistrad block and the Dark Ascension block had the flip cards in them, just like how Shadows and Eldritch Moon did. And so you had less commons because you got a flip card in the back. Betrayers of Kamigawa is next. There's some good cards in this set, too, that we could see. Be pretty nice. Let's see. Oh, man. The Shinobis and stuff. I really enjoyed the Kamigawa set, personally. But, I mean, maybe I just have fond memories of it because I played it in high school with my friends. Vital Surge. Flames of the Blood Hand. Walker of the Secret Way, or Walker of Secret Ways, I should say. This is an uncommon. Baduka Pupil that turns into Ichiga, who topples oaks. So he goes from a creature monk into a legendary spirit. And our rare, a Patron of the Moon. There you go. 7 mana, 5 in blue, blue, and it's a legendary spirit. It says Moonfolk Offering. You may play this card anytime you could play an instant by sacrificing a Moonfolk and paying the difference in mana costs between this and the sacrificed Moonfolk. Mana costs include color. Oh, so it does include color. Neat. So flying, 4/5, or 5/4, I should say, and it has pay 1, put up to 2 land cards from your hand into play tapped. Holy moly. Apocalypse. Alright, Apocalypse, what do you got for me? Alright, now this is an interesting one, right? Because let me just make sure here. Okay. The uncommons were on front, which meant the rare was, I think, 3 behind it. So we did find the commons. We'll do a slow roll of these since this is an older set. Ooh, an Urbog Elf. Look at the colors it makes. Green, blue, black. Very nice. Jilt. Llanowar Dead. So it's an elf it's a zombie elf that makes black mana instead of green. There's a lot of cool cards in these old sets. The art is phenomenal as well. Like, look at that guy. The Bognar. Tundra Kavu. Illuminate is our first uncommon, which you guys saw, I think, when we first got the pack open there. And next, an Aether Mutation. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Put X 1/1 green Saproling creature tokens into play, where X is the converted mana cost. Interesting. We've got a Seta Sanctuary enchantment. And our rare, a Vindicate. Very nice. This is a very good rare. And it's got that old school art with the legacy weapon on there. Very nice. Very nice. So there you go, everybody. That was One of Everything series from Comics Plus. I've been your host, MrBevers. I hope you enjoyed. We did get a few things that we're going to add to the patron pile for sure. So hopefully we can get some more things in the next couple weeks to add to the pile as well. As always, may your pulls ever be better.